Hey, what's up, guys? Back again with another vlog. It is 3:42 in the morning right now. I'm gonna go to sleep, so I'll make this a short one. Today was pretty good. I went to work. I was on Expo. It was, it was really busy today, actually. It was really freaking busy today. Thankfully, my break was at 12:30, which is when it was the most busy. So I'm glad for that. But yeah, it was crazy today at work. I got home, exercised, and then I spent the rest of the day preparing for D&D. I made my character, and then we played D&D. And not gonna lie, it didn't go as well as I hoped it would. The main issue is our DM kinda doesn't really. I don't want to say doesn't know how to DM because that's rude, but like she didn't really like do much. I don't know how to explain it. It was just like a lot of silence, a lot of just like there's not enough initiative. I feel like it feels like she doesn't know her own story, and the party was split the entire time. So like there was like a good like 2 hours where the characters just wouldn't talk. Like it was ridiculous. It was absurd. It was actually absurd how little we did in that time span. Like, she wasn't prepared nearly as much as she should have been, which I guess is fair. There's two new players like the day before, so obviously she didn't have much time to prepare. But you could have like improvised, you know? But still, it was a very scuffed session, to say the least. And like, it started off with like, we're at this like cemetery fighting zombies, and that was fine and all, but not all the players were there to fight. There were like four other players who were not present. I think there was like 8 players at the beginning in total, I think, or something. And there was only me, my friend from Mark, and then 2 other people. So like half of the players just straight up did nothing for like the first half of the entire session. And I'm just like, why? Why would you do this to your players? They just have to like watch us fight and they can't participate. And I'm like, what is this? This is not how you do this. Like D&D thing. Like you don't split the party. That's like the number one sin in D&D is when you split the party. That's so bad because then you have to time travel back and forth between the two parties. Half the part, like the party that isn't being talked about, it just does nothing the whole time. Like I was so bored and so disengaged when it wasn't my turn, and it never like after the cemetery, like once we switched to like the other characters, we just weren't in the game for like the rest of the session. Like, as a matter of fact, they switched in the latter half to like only 2 characters. So it's because some people left early, but there was only like 2 characters being talked about, and the other people just sat and listened the whole time. And I'm like, this is crazy. This is actually crazy. This isn't what D&D is about. D&D is supposed to like be role play, right? It's a storytelling game, and yet a majority of the people aren't participating. Like, what is going on? It's so boring. It is so slow paced. Like, and it's fine to have a slow burn of a story, but we did literally like nothing story related. Literally like nothing. We fought some zombies, which were connected to the story, but it didn't do anything story wise. Like, we did nothing story wise today. And then, like, we spent like an hour at this, like, or not, when I say we, I mean, like, the DM spent like an hour talking with one character about like some flowers and stuff to make a potion. And I'm just like, you can't do that. Like, if you're gonna talk about one character in depth, you have to be like also detailing like what the other characters are doing. And all she said was, during this time is when you guys were fighting. Okay, and like, you, it's crazy what you expect. You just expect the rest of the players to just sit and stay silent while the one player just gets to talk on and on about plants and nothing else. And it was just so boring. It was so disappointing. And I feel like this person just doesn't know how to DM. And it's upsetting. I think I could do a better job. And as a matter of fact, when the DM went to the bathroom for like half an hour, may I add, I helped DM, like, and I think that like 15 minutes that I DM'd was better than anything she did that entire 4 hour session. Not gonna lie. Not to toot my own horn, but like, it was the blandest DMing I've ever seen. Like, it was so boring. Like, there was no flavor text. There was nothing. No voices, no, like, literally nothing. It was just like the bare minimum. Not even the bare minimum. Like, even less than that. It was so bare bones, empty nothingness. I was just like, okay, like, what are we doing? It felt more just like a group of friends just like talking casually on Discord than D&D. It didn't feel like D&D at all. At least for my standards, at least. Like, when I DM, I I mean, to be fair, I haven't done a campaign. I'm sure campaigns are much different than one shots. But when I do a one shot, I plan that bitch out, start to finish. And I make sure that there's always something happening, okay? Whereas with this session, it felt like nothing happened. We killed some zombies. I made a dog, a zombie dog friend, because I wanted one. And like, we did nothing. And I don't know, it's kind of, I know some people are against it, but if the players don't know what they're doing, you have to help them a little bit, okay? Like, you kind of have to guide them a little bit. Because when you just like plop your players in an open world, they're not going to know what to do. Oops. They're not going to know what to do. And I feel like I barely understand the story. Like, I barely understand what's going on. It hasn't been really well explained to me yet. So that makes it hard to like role play, my character when I don't really know the story of what's going on. I kind of get the gist, but I can't really go into depth. I kind of have to make up the story, which I know is a key aspect of, I think it's called Daggerheart, the TTRPG we're using, the RPG we're using. It's made by Critical Role. So like, I know that obviously the players play a big part in developing the story, but it's kind of hard when you're bored out of your mind. I don't know, I just felt so bored. Like, when I DM, I try my best to like keep my players engaged whenever possible. Like, if there's like nothing going on, I at least try to guide them to something interesting. The whole point of D&D is to have fun, right? I didn't really have that much fun apart from when I got to, control my character. Because I tried my best to make my character as interesting as possible. I feel like a lot of these characters just aren't really that interesting. Well, to be fair, there were two that were interesting in the latter half. And then it's a shame that I didn't get to like talk to them as my character because they were somewhere else. Like we're just split up at the moment, and I fear that next Thursday when I play again, that we're still gonna be split, and it's gonna be just as painfully boring and slow and agonizing. But hopefully, it'll be more prepared for next time. It just feels weird excluding like so many people for like one sequence. Like we're only here for a limited time, man. Like at least have the party all together so that like even if someone is having their moment, like other people can still like interject. But no, it's like you're kind of just like watching an unavoidable cutscene and you just can't do anything about it. Like you can't talk, you can't do anything, and it sucks. It sucks a lot. I always keep my players together. I never split the players. Never split the players. That's like the number one cardinal sin of D&D. Don't split the freaking players unless you're Matthew Mercer and you know how to do it. This was not how you do it. You don't exclude the other freaking players for this one section for like ages and then just have the other players just sit around do nothing for literal hours. Like, bro, that's not fun. That's not fun for the people who are waiting for you to switch to their perspective. You know what I mean? Like, it was fun in the beginning because I got to play my character. But during that time, I felt bad for the people who are like at the market or whatever and just had to like sit there and listen to us kill zombies for like 2 hours and just do nothing that whole time. And then when it was their turn, then I felt bored out of my mind. I didn't even like pay attention half the time because I was so gosh darn unengaged. It was so not engaging. And it just felt so monotonous. And that's the worst. It's not D&D if you're not having fun. So yeah, that's about it for today's vlog. I'll stop ranting now. Tomorrow's my last day of work, so looking forward to that. Anyways, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. See ya.